What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today I am going to be playing a little bit of American Truck Simulator. I know it's going to be a little bit different. It's actually just more so because I'm actually doing some sort of just a little bit of like just laid back live stream instead of doing something politically or something like that. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a chance to actually talk to me. So I'm actually today I'm just going to be holding a little bit of the this is hot. Yes, it is. This is very hot. A little bit kind of good graphics. I mean, the skybox could look a little bit better. That's kind of one of my only issues with this game is really the skybox. It always kind of looks a little too compact. Maybe expand the map. I mean, they did expand the map a little bit. I think it was in one of the updates. But what is going on? Everyone joining right now, welcome to the live stream. Actually, I'm gonna pause this because for some reason my streamer keeps on telling me that I have a issue. This actually right now is going to be between Carson City and Kayenta, somewhere in Arizona, I believe. Because for some reason, it's taking me. I must have taken a wrong turn or something. I need to turn around for whatever reason at all. Which it looks like I may not be able to turn around until I get to San Francisco, maybe? Hopefully not. Hopefully that is not the case. Is there a new version of the game or no? Again, this is just more of a little bit of just a live stream that I'm kind of just doing. Yeah, bam, bango. That's pretty consistent. That's kind of terrifying. But hopefully PG is not trafficking drugs in this. And I actually didn't need to get that guy out of my way. We're actually driving a Mack truck right now. We're actually delivering an excavator. I may be a couple hours behind because I am going the complete wrong way right now. What I need to do is I need to just kick it in the high gear, turn around, and then start taking the I think it was like I-5 down California, because where I'm delivering this to, I'm actually delivering it to what do you call it, Arizona. Looks like they actually made the tolls automatic now, I guess. Alright, here's going to be our chance to turn around. We just got to take the Golden Gate Bridge all over again. Because I made a mistake before I even started playing this game, and I'm trying to repair that mistake. Hopefully that is not a cop right next to me. Hopefully, and we gotta take this turn. I'm doing a couple illegal things right now, and I tried to do the blinker. There's the blinker. Actually, the wipers. What do you think about the USA? Oh God, that's a mixed bag. We're surviving. I guess. Looks like the rain's getting a little bit harder. And we're gonna, maybe we'll take a right. I don't know. Not really bored yet. And I'm still sucking. The only crime I'm actually committing in this game right now is actually that I'm driving without a license. It's a little bit mixed. But yeah, for the purpose of the live stream, actually, if you're actually curious about anything about me, Just don't go into any personal questions. I believe this is a little bit just of a fun Q&A. But if you like, mostly it's actually, I mean, you could actually do it about like political stuff. Like, so if you're interested in my political views about a certain issue, then you could actually ask that. Otherwise, it's usually just a regular Q&A. Yeah, protests are still actually breaking out, and this is actually the first time I've actually posted anything for y'all since I actually made that video or live stream. If you guys actually tuned into that live stream of me in the middle of a riot, so if you have any questions about what the decision-making process went into that, and to actually answer your question. The decision-making process was I'm not gonna go, and then it was I'm going to go, and then it was I'm gonna go, and then I'm not gonna get anything else except bring a mask. So that was a decision-making process into me going into a riot. Yeah, my city is calm for now too. Dallas is actually slightly calmed down. They actually haven't had any issues with rioting or anything like that. It looks like that the people are actually realizing that there's some sort of and in my opinion, I do not believe it is the police setting people up. I believe it is actually, it is actually some sort of like a just disgruntled group such as Antifa that is actually behind all of these all of the violence that you're actually seeing in the cities now. So it is pretty interesting. Drive carefully. Yep, hopefully I'll drive carefully. Thank you oh wow, thank you so much, PTK. I actually didn't realize that was you. Thank you so much. Shout out to PTK. He's actually one of my patrons. So if PG, can you grab me some headphones from Target? Yes, sir, I can. Yeah, sure. I just got I just got a donation from PTK, so I'll go ahead and get you some stuff from Target real quick. Speaking of, who wants to be my personal bodyguard? Who wants to be enlisted as PG's personal bodyguard on Discord? Sleeky, is that you? Is that you? Do you want to be my personal bodyguard? Ooh, drive handling is a little off. Okay, get out of my way. Come on. There we go. Now we need to go into San Rafael. Where am I going? Okay, so that's where my missing turn was. Come on, come on. Come on. Let's go. Maybe I committed another crime there, but I don't care. Would you consider plugging for a mock government server and description of your videos, specifically LTE? See, I used to be a part of that group. I used to do that a bunch. Speaking of, the chat is a little far from me, so let me actually do this. Okay, so I actually have the chat pulled out. Okay, so one of the reasons why I actually stopped doing mock government servers was because of the drama. And I even tried to start one. I tried to start one with someone who actually contacted me, and he literally said that he wanted me to be a part of the mock government server. And so I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And specifically, if you actually remember me from a while ago, specifically, if you remember me from a while ago, you will actually remember that I actually started something called the Virginia server. I actually started a Commonwealth of Virginia roleplay server, and that one lasted about maybe less than a month. But the issue is that there was so much drama that broke out. So, and that's the reason why I haven't done any of that right now, is because it's just not fun. Okay, I really need to figure out where I'm going right now. Okay, so I need to keep going straight. This is going to take me toward Oakdale, and then that's going to take me right next to Fresno, Bakersfield, and then that's going to take me, so we're going all the way up to literally the border between Utah and, yeah, literally the border between Utah and the state of Arizona. So we need to just keep going straight. Have I tried nation states or politics and war? I actually do have a nation states thing. I believe I still have that nation states. I'm actually going to have to log into it. I don't know if there's a specific amount of time that they actually take your account down. Yeah, this is a long drive. This is about 1,000 miles, so that's actually why I wanted to do that Q&A for y'all. Do we need to build a wall around Utah? Yes, sir, we do. This route will go to a civil war. Disagree or agree? I would disagree until people like Antifa actually start having a call to arms. Until there is actually a legitimate call to arms and more, I do believe that that it could just stay neutral. But other than that, I'm not really worried about it, especially since the violence is actually still calming down now. Yeah, PTK's my bulldozer in chief. My bulldozer in chief says that we should build a wall around Utah to keep all the non-Mormons out. So, hands up for those who actually want to start a roleplay server in the politics gaming Discord. Let's go ahead and start one there. Nation states deletes your nation after 30 days. You can revive it though. So yeah, I actually do have one. It was actually called like the Russian Arab Republic or something like that. It was actually like a theocracy of the Russian Federation, but instead it was actually under a Muslim theocracy. So that was actually we are missing a turn. Almost. Son of a god dang. Why does it keep telling me to turn around? Why? I don't know what the heck is wrong with my thing right now. Okay, hang on. Reset navigation for 1. Okay, so for some reason I kept on clicking off to set me to Raphael or something like that, and oh my god. That was frustrating. Okay, so now I just need to get back on the highway. Make the PG server anything else than a dead server? Blasphemy! I know, right? Alright, let's keep it going. Let's get back on the highway. Put my blinker on. God dang it. Are you using a keyboard or something else? I'm actually using a keyboard. I actually figured out how to use a PS4 controller on here, but oh, you asshole. I actually figured out I kind of prefer to use I actually prefer to use keyboard and mouse, mostly because it's just, I guess, easier. And I've actually set it in a way to where it's easier for that. Discord server success depends largely on having a community, not just a bunch of random people. Yeah, true. It was actually different. I mean, what you're seeing in the server now is actually, it wasn't like that before. It was actually a lot more active. The thing is that people, well, actually, before it got deleted, it actually became dead, and that's mostly because of my hiatus. I stopped posting. And it... Okay, let me through. Thank you. It actually was somewhat my fault. The reason why it became dead like that is because it just... it was more because I stopped posting. So, yeah. And, yeah, if I actually get to a point to where I'm actually able to buy like a gear and a something like that, a gear and a steering wheel and all that. That's actually like my goal for this game. So so if you guys want to start contributing to that fund, there's a super chat icon right there. You can donate as much as you want. And specifically, if I actually did do that, then you guys would actually, if you guys actually want to see more ATS, then I could actually do that. Okay, it looks like it wants us to get off on this next exit, so then we're going to go ahead and do that. Oakland and Stockton. Mostly it wants us to go towards Stockton, not Oakland. Oakland is too close to San Francisco for us. Oakland is actually to our right. I don't think this is how geography works. Okay, let's go ahead and put our blinker on for a left turn. I suggest the joystick for ATS. Okay, I could actually do that. If you actually have a specific model for that, then you can actually tell me. Because what I'm specifically looking for is the specific model. Let's go ahead and turn those wipers on for full speed. And instead of this stop, we're actually going to get gas at the next stop. Looks like I think we do actually have enough gas for... We have more than a quarter of a tank, so we're going to go ahead and do this at the next stop. $4 for that at the Chevron right there. That is not product placement. Chevron is not funding PG. I wish they were. It's too bad you can't have people simp for you within the super chat. Yeah. Simping. That is one hell of a word. If you like plane simulators, don't use a joystick. Yeah, I actually, see, what you guys are probably gonna hate, for one thing, and I'm giving y'all a fair warning, I'm actually going to be playing a lot, okay, the rain has stopped. I'm going to be playing a lot of Flight Simulator 2020, either offline or on stream, so just bear with me, because whenever I was younger, I loved Flight Simulator X. I played Flight Simulator X for a long time. So if you so this new flight simulator that Microsoft is actually creating is actually going to be extremely important to me, and I'm going to make sure that I can get my hands on it. So so please bear with me if you actually are expecting, you idiots. If you're actually expecting a lot of just, you know, this is like Flight Simulator 2020 is going to probably be one of my least political gameplays that I'm going to do on this channel. And even if I wanted to start a new channel for non-political gameplay, I really kind of don't know what the name of that channel should be. So if you guys have any suggestions on that and you're interested in this content, please let me know. And we're actually going to be getting on the highway again. We're running with like $2,000 right now, mostly because I actually just bought a truck. PG, can you say Philadelphia? Politics free gaming. Huh. A break from GPS in the political process is neat. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, keeping it all in one place, I mean, it makes it a lot easier for me, because if I had like two channels, I've thought about making two channels, and so this is one thing. If I actually, and this is, again, I'm speaking to y'all as a community, if I actually did what I did, and speak, for one thing, what did y'all think about the, do you do Flight Simulator 2020 stream? I will. You will see a lot of Flight Simulator 2020 once that is released. But the Dallas protests that I posted and the film that I actually made, what were you guys' thoughts on it? Like, what did y'all think about it? And do you think that I should do more content like that? Should I go to these protests? Should I film them? Should I do that for y'all? Like, should I broadcast the things that are going on now? And then if so, should I make a new channel for it, or should I post it on Politics Gaming? Let's go ahead and cut this guy off. I don't think you should. You should stay safe. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, being safe. Yeah, technically, did it surprise y'all whenever y'all saw it? Was it one of those things where you were like, what the hell are you doing, dude? If you go, who knows what can happen? Yeah, I know. And stuff like that has actually interested me, and I actually really enjoyed going to the one that I actually did, even though it got violent and even though I got tear gassed. Where do you live, admin? And admin, are you talking about me? That's amusing. That's assuming the riots last long term. No, they're not. They're not even lasting long term. They're stopping now. Most of them are, like, except in the big cities. Los Angeles, Dallas has actually calmed down. Like, police are still using like tear gas and all that on the people. Yeah, they're probably gonna get sick of it soon. And the protesting, I don't think they're gonna get sick of, but the rioting, definitely. And the protesters are actually literally telling the rioters, as soon as it starts, they start like throwing shit. They're like, hey, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Let me Okay, so I am monetizing this. For some reason, my last live stream is not monetized, so it didn't do that. Ah, crap, I didn't bring the chat up. Let me bring the chat back. And is National Guard deployed in your city? Yes. Yes, they are. What do you think about the police? I believe that the police have a job that no one else can do. I believe that the police should be supported. I believe that the police should be, they're not bad people. I believe that to a point, it is a few bad apples. I need to stop at a hotel. When is the next rest stop? In 1 hour and 30 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and stop at this next rest stop, get some gas, get some rest, and get some sleep. How is rubber bullets too far? Okay, so I actually saw a post about this earlier. So the reason why rubber bullets is actually a little bit controversial is because, because people have actually been getting killed. People have actually been getting killed by them by just being shot by them. What the police are actually supposed to do, and I actually saw this, if anyone can fact check me, can you join voice chat and Discord in next stream? I could. I mean, I could do that now. I mean, literally, since this is a Q&A live stream and all that, I mean, I could, as long as, swear to God, as long as you guys are respectful and not being autistic, because if you start being autistic, I'm not going to trust you. Alright, I get that you're yawning. I'm going to pull over. Okay, this is Fresno. There's the gas station. Was there trouble in the last voice chat? Actually, there wasn't. Not that I can remember. And I do actually have mods, so any of the mods that are actually listening right now, if I'm actually going to do that for this Q&A live stream, I'll actually just need y'all in there just to make sure. It's amazing how tolerant your nation is of your black population. Besides, the protests don't look peaceful to me. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty complicated situation. And the reason it's actually been causing me a lot of stress recently, so that's actually one of the reasons why I've actually kind of like, haven't And that's actually another reason why I actually haven't gone to a protest, is because it's been causing just so much stress with myself that I just don't feel like that it's a good idea for me to go. Because the Dallas one, wow, that was a hell of an experience. There are some peaceful protests, but the violence cancels it out. Yeah. And see, that's the sucky thing about it, is that I've been to multiple sit-ins and marches where it was calm and the police walked beside us. Yeah. And that's actually been happening in the cities near me. For example, Fort Worth. Fort Worth is actually one of the only, and this was according to Reddit, was one of the only cities that actually did not get violent on the first night of protests nationwide. Everyone with a brain right now, Muse, by the way, everyone with a brain thinks that what happened to George Floyd was wrong. Everyone thinks that. But he's not a saint himself. The thing is that just because he committed crimes in the past, and see, that's one of the things, is that he was being as respectful as possible to the cop while he was on him. And I'm going to admit it right now, I have not seen the entire video. I do not believe that it's going to be easy for me to watch the entire video. The thing is that, yeah, just because he committed crimes in the past, and see, that's one of the bad things that a lot of these people are doing, is that they're sitting here saying like, oh, well, they're sitting there saying, oh, well, he did this in the past, he did this, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter what he did in the past. What matters is that it did not justify him dying the way he did. That's one of the bad things about it. Makes me cringe when people say stuff like he's a gentle giant. See, I don't know. Muse, I don't know. I kind of slightly disagree, because I mean, it doesn't matter what his personality was. What matters is the way that it happened, and the way that it happened was wrong. It doesn't matter the way he was. It doesn't matter. You're getting tired. You should find a parking place to rest. Yes, I know. What do you think I'm doing? But the thing is that it doesn't matter what he committed crimes. Everyone has people run red lights every day by accident. That's a crime. Yeah. And so don't take this the wrong way if anyone is watching. What I actually read, and I particularly kind of don't agree with the way this is said, but this is a common argument among people, especially people who really don't like, he pointed a gun at pregnant woman's stomach. I don't know. Was that the cop, or was that the oh yeah, that was the police. So one of the things that I've actually seen was that black populations are actually a lot harder to police. And see, just because a population is a lot harder to police does not mean that you should treat them any less human. And if you are treating them any less human, then you are a piece of shit. That is something that angers me, is that people are justifying the way black people are treated by the police because they say, oh, well, they commit more crimes, that means that they should be policed harder. No, that does not mean that they should be policed harder. They should be policed equally as much as everyone else. Is that an NBC News truck? Well, it looks like they're going to cover the protests. All right, before I actually get on the way, I'm actually going to go ahead and get into the Discord chat. So if you guys are actually interested in continuing this conversation live on YouTube, please go ahead and get into the thing. Mods, if you are watching, please actually go ahead and get into the chat as well, so you can actually moderate it. So for those that are actually going to be in the chat, please do not be inappropriate. Do not do anything. Please watch your language. Please don't do anything. Very light language is okay, but at the same time, just don't say anything. And it is recommended that you actually have a mic, so I'm not really just talking to my mods. So if you have a mic, please go ahead and get one. And speaking of, let me go back and get the chat again. All right, and I'm actually back. So you can everyone who doesn't have a mic can actually unmute yourselves. Sleeky, I don't know if you have a mic either. What the heck? Come on, I don't know if my Discord is messing up again. Hello? Yeah, I can't hear you. Oh, come on. You guys want freaking voice chat, but you don't want to do any of that. Well, if anyone is actually disagreeing with my arguments, then it is actually free for you guys to join the discussion. It angers me when this population always has to play victim. Floyd was wrongfully killed, but there isn't evidence it was a racist attack. Okay, so I can actually agree with that. So this is my point of view of, and by the way, what's going on, green shirt guy? I've actually, I know you're new to the server, so actually welcome. But yeah, so I'm actually going to go off of what Muse said. One of the arguments is actually that it wasn't a racist attack. I do not believe that it was actually a racist attack. I don't believe that he was singled out because he was black. I believe that the way it went was like this. It was actually literally he committed a crime. He committed a crime which is actually a felony, I believe, in the state of Minnesota. Or actually, it's actually a felony federally. Counterfeit money is a very, very big crime, and if you are actually caught either with the intent to use or anything like that, you will actually be looking at a felony. The thing is that you should not, that is not a death sentence. That should not be a death sentence. So I believe that the officer did the correct thing by confronting him. And so the way it happened is actually you kind of see, yeah, more of them do well, actually not, that's not actually the case. I actually did some research yesterday, and more white people, at least in 2017, 2018, and 2019, as well as 2020, more white people have actually been killed in the United States by police officers than black people. However, the thing is that an argument is that the argument is that they are actually singled out a lot more by police officers, which is actually true. They are actually singled out a lot more. They are seen as more aggressive by the police. They are seen as more deadly by the police. So, in turn, they actually do suffer a lot more action against them. Hey, what's going on? Cuddly Gold's YouTube channel. I've actually never seen you here. Listening in the Discord and to the stream, LOL. Oh, so you're a green shirt guy. Okay, I get it. And if you actually have if you have a Roblox character as your YouTube icon, please unsubscribe. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I'm just completely messing with you. Nah. Speaking of, since Roblox I believe is free, who wants, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you are actually up for starting a political roleplay server on Roblox. Hosted by PG. I swear to God, that's going to get the wrong demographic into my subscriber base, and I'm going to hate it. But, I mean, if it gets views. To be honest, your police are a joke. I wouldn't say they're gone anywhere near far enough until now. Okay, so going on with what I was saying, the thing is that I do not believe that George Floyd was singled out because he was black. He committed a crime. He was confronted by the police because of that crime. But what happened, I believe, is because he's black. I believe that this happened because of one of the points that I was making earlier. So going back onto my thing about how black people are supposedly harder to police, and that requires police to treat them worse than they're actually supposed to be treated. I completely forgot to get gas, by the way. So one of the things, and speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and get gas right here. One of the things is actually, what was that? That was a loan installment. Okay, I have a $10,000 loan. So one of the things is actually, hang on, well, I'm completely, okay, so it's about the police being a joke. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I completely forgot what my point was. Please, if anyone is actually interested in joining the conversation, the Discord, again, is live. While I get gas, we're gonna... It's a lot of money. Oh yeah, I'm actually not paying for that gas. Thank you. Your fuel expenses are covered by your employer. Thank you. I like the smell of gas. Oh my god, same. Honestly, same. There is a presidential debate game on Roblox. Oh my god. Okay, if anyone can please introduce me to the Roblox political side, please do that for me. I'm going to honestly piss myself laughing if that's the case. Someone needs to introduce PG to the Roblox political servers, and if... Oh god. By the way, if you're watching right now, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Joining the Discord will actually be appreciated. That is the Discord link if you're actually interested in being a part of this conversation. Michael, please join the Discord. Please join the Discord. I want to have a debate with you. We are having a discussion right now about what's going on. So if you want to have that discussion that you've been wanting to have with me, please join the Discord right now. I want to have that conversation with you, and today might be that day. As a third positionist, I see if it's hard. I find it hard. Okay, that's confusing. How people cannot see racial differences. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Yeah, and so see, that actually goes back onto the term like, oh well, I'm colorblind, so I don't want to have this discussion because I don't see race. Yeah, being colorblind, and I said that like once, and I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, no, that's actually retarded. So you can't really be colorblind. I've always wanted to play this game. Are you talking about Roblox, or are you talking about American Truck Simulator? American Truck Simulator is actually very worth the buy. If you guys actually want to see more American Truck Simulator on my channel, please let me know. Since it's a little politically based, because I'm literally a part of the trade network inside of the United States running the economy. I would have supported Republicans back because they cared about blacks. Now I like Democrats. See, I mean, and that actually goes back into the argument about whether blacks are too dependent on Democrats. That Democrats, okay, Muse got hidden, but I said I actually respect, respect the black population because they don't pretend they're colorblind, but white people pretend they're colorblind. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Oh yes, PJ, I'm going to send you a game in your Discord and DMs. I think you can start a new series on it. Oh my god. Is it Roblox? Oh my god, please. Hey, what's going on, Damien? Welcome to the live stream. Wow, I am drunk as hell right now. What is the name of the game, if you can actually tell me? Are my comments getting hidden? Muse, yeah, actually they are, but it's not me. So just a fair warning for y'all. Oh, I am your president. Yeah, I've been following that game ever like since last year. I've been following that, so I know that game. Um, but if your comments are actually getting hidden, it is not me hiding them. So that's actually YouTube doing that automatically. The only thing is actually I'm not finding the time to actually show the comment. So yeah, that is not me though. I don't have a political view because I'm very open-minded to everything. Well, actually, I would disagree with that. When will you play the political process again? Yeah. Is it because I said black in the comment? I think that was. I didn't really see that. Chat comments can demonetize a stream, so I've heard. Yeah, guys, stop trying to demonetize me. We got 13 hours to complete this. Oh, God, we are 3 hours behind. Oh, no. I'm so stupid. Oh my God, we need to speed. We are 3 hours behind schedule. Okay, let's go. Come on. We gotta go. We can't stop. Ah! Come on. Come on. I can't stop. We are 3 hours behind schedule. Come on. I don't care about you, Hummer. I do not care. I have the yielding, I think. You fight this up, PG. 3 seconds per minute. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta start speeding the hell down. Okay, we got 10 hours and 11 minutes. I got 12 hours and 59 minutes. If I can actually cut down like the hour and a half that I need to do. PG, where is my shipment of Nintendo Switches? This area looks nice. I'm in Bakersfield actually. I am like going like 50 miles an hour down the residential street of Bakersfield with a gigantic excavator on my back. Come on. Turn green. Come on. Okay, I'm running it. Come on. Oh, it goes green. Thank you. Damn it! PG, I love you, no homo. Good job, you don't have riots. Oh my God, can you imagine? Dude, oh my God, I completely forgot that there's been this whole issue with freaking truck drivers and protesters recently. There's a cop right in front of me. I completely forgot that that was an issue. Do cops pull you over? In 18 Wheels of Steel American Long Haul, they actually did, but in American Truck Simulator, no. That was homo. Yes, it actually was homo. Michael, again, if you want to have that discussion right now, if you want to have a little bit of a discussion, you said you wanted to debate me. I want to have that debate. Unless you want to have that debate in a separate live stream, then we can do it later. But if you want to have that discussion now, please go ahead and join. Huh? Speaking of, I actually don't know if Discord, if my live stream can actually hear you. I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, the thing is like, and by the way, if y'all cannot hear PTK, please let me know so I can go ahead and change those settings. The thing is that, like, just because, and I don't even think that, that Norwegian or Swedish police do the same thing. I know Sweden doesn't count because they're Swedish, but I like how Brady just joined and then left. The thing is that, like, even in Sweden and Norway, there's this argument saying, oh, well, migrants are committing, like, this amount of crime, blah, 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 but Swedish and Norwegian police are not policing them any harder than they are with normal citizens. There's a higher, so the thing, okay, so the higher level of concern, that is okay. Okay, so apparently, yeah, they cannot hear you. I know how to fix it. I had to fix it last time. Apparently, I just literally have to create a second, like, audio channel. Go ahead and speak real quick.
Testing 1 2 3.
That's
1 2
great.
3.
I believe everyone should be able to hear you now. Scandinavians always struggle to be heard. I wish I could pin comments, honestly.
You know, what if this ruthless attack against my people?
Oh my god, that was great. That was great. Muse is like my channel savior, honestly. Ooh, that was a big burn from an Englishman onto a Scandinavian.
I would just like to remind the Englishmen how the last time Norwegians came over to England in large amounts went.
I wish I could do that thing in my summer car where I could literally just flip people off out the window.
You drive like a jackass.
I'm driving like a jackass because I'm like 3 hours behind. Shut up.
But back to the point, if you were a cop and you went into one of these troubled areas, how much faith are you willing to put into the other guy's concern for your life?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I can't answer that, honestly. Ah, damn it, I damaged my cargo.
You know, I'm sure that in an ideal world we all agree that it would be nice if we didn't have any accidents, but isn't it a bit ambitious to assume that people won't prioritize their own life?
Yeah. See, again, I get that. But the thing is that... And the thing that it works in the US is that if I, like, just because they are... I don't know how to explain it, like, efficiently. Just because a certain person... And if you know, one of the main defenses is, oh, well, it's only a few bad apples. Well, in that case, it's only a few bad apples among that entire demographic, so it shouldn't be to a point where, you know, like, they're like, being, not really policed harder, but just, like, their level of safety goes down in the event that a cop actually has them under custody. Because you say that, but you're more likely to be beaten up, you're more likely to be shot, you're more likely to, or not, and by more likely to be shot, I'm not saying be shot and killed, I'm just saying to be shot.
If you were going to arrest for example, a bank robber and the guy who does tax fraud, is it more likely that you're going to have to shoot the bank robber or the guy doing tax fraud?
The bank robber?
And if bank robbers, or
Well,
that
assuming
crime is more...
that the bank robber has a gun, then maybe the bank robber. But if the gun is fake, and the thing is that the only time in police training, the only time that you were supposed to kill. So, well, actually, your job is not, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't get, is that your job as a police officer is not, whenever you shoot them, it is not to kill them. But whenever you shoot them, you shoot to stop them. That is your goal. You shoot to stop. You don't shoot to kill.
Absolutely. But if you're carrying a fake gun, right? Because these guns look real. Or else you wouldn't use them in your bank robbery, right?
So, okay, so if we're going to be talking about fake and real guns, then we want to talk about the killing of Tamir Rice. Are you familiar with Tamir Rice?
I don't know enough about it.
Okay, so Tamir Rice was a 12 or 13-year-old kid that, I think it was in, like, Detroit or something like that. But basically, Tamir Rice was, are we talking about the incident in my state? Slightly, but also not, like, all the way through. Anyway, one of the things about Tamir Rice is that he had a fake gun, and he was running around a park shooting it, and so someone called the police on him and said, hey, I think it's a fake gun, but there's a kid running around shooting people with a fake gun. Can you send someone out to stop him? Like, he's getting annoying. Like, the person who called was like, this person's getting annoying. Can you send someone out to tell him to stop? The dispatcher did not relay that information over to the police officer. Well, actually, I think she did. She literally said, they're saying that it's fake, blah, 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 blah. So just make sure that you know that it's fake. So then the police show up. They, like, drive full speed into the park. They jump out of their car, and then they shoot him about a couple, like, almost a dozen times. Like, half a dozen times.
And that's probably very sad and, all that. I don't know enough about it to comment. But remember that America is a country of, 330 million people? So, if this happens one out of a million, that's still going to happen to...
It's happening a lot to be a 1 in a million.
Yeah, but 1 in a million, 1 in 10,000. How many murders do you have per 100,000? So... And of course there are problems with the American police, I'm not denying that, but to say that...
But to acknowledge
this
that there
is exclusively
a problem.
An issue, to say that this is exclusively an issue, or largely an issue because of the police, is probably not fair. Because as a human you have a instinct for self-preservation, don't you? And, again, what risk are you willing to take for that gun is not real?
But if it was known, for one thing, that it was fake, that's one of the things. That it was known that it was fake, but that information was not relayed.
Then it was not known to the cop, was it? If it was not relayed to the cop?
For one thing, if it was a grown military-age male, yeah, then it would possibly be a little more justifiable. But, and I can see where you're coming from, but if it's a little kid and it's a little kid, and you're not hearing any gunshots whatsoever, then there should be a little more thought put into it, and that cop did not put a lot of thought into it. He literally jumped out, saw a little kid with a gun, and was like, that. And the thing is that I remember that specific incident. I remember PG, you didn't have to stop. It was red. Well, actually, it told me if you looked at the bottom right, for one thing, it told me to stop at the way station. But the thing is that like they literally said that. Look, I'm really cutting down on this this time, by the way. And I remember Tamir Rice. I remember that incident happening, and I still think it's bullshit.
How old did you say the kid was?
He was
12?
like 12.
Yeah. And this might be different in America, but you know, if I remember back to how I was at 12 and how people I knew was at 12, you know, you could, if you're a bit unlucky, you could pass for an adult. And in that split second where you have
not Tamir Rice.
Again, I don't know about the specifics of this case.
You should look up a
picture
of Tamir Rice.
If you have a split second to decide something, which you probably do if someone has what you believe to be a gun.
But but just again,
how can you blame them for taking the only, from a human point of view, rational choice of self-preservation?
But you're obviously
what are you talking about?
You also we're talking about specifically right now. We're talking about Tamir Rice. The thing is that if you have a split second to decide, but if you're so tunnel visioned on just looking at the gun and then not looking at who's carrying it, and one of the things is that there was a report that I believe it was said that he pointed it at the officer. So yeah, that's whenever that split second decision making was supposed to come into play. But the thing is that a lot of officers, and they do this to black people too. Whenever they see someone with a gun, they stop. And then they start saying, put the gun down, put the gun down, put the gun down. A lot of officers do that. A lot. Most officers do that. I am passing a cop. Oh. I have negative $2,000 right now. But yeah. So, if he looked and then saw how little this kid was, and then did what he was actually also trained to do, because they train you to do this. They say if you see a gun, you need to tell them to put it down. And so a lot of officers, and there are videos of this, and even now there's people bringing guns to these protests, and then if they see them, and then they're like, okay, hey, put the gun down, put the gun down. So you're giving them a chance to surrender the weapon. This officer did not give him a single chance to surrender the weapon.
Is this the case where the kid was holding up a toy gun at the cop?
Tamir Rice, yes.
Okay. Well, look, I don't know what the kid was thinking. But you shouldn't point a weapon or anything at anybody unless you have the sole purpose of killing or shooting him. I don't know what was going in that kid's mind, but police are trained to defend themselves. And when you point a weapon at an officer, you're more likely going to get killed. You're going to get shot.
Yes, but at the same time, there have been countless incidents of the same exact thing happening and officers not firing on that person.
Well, I mean, again, it depends on the officer. I don't know how long that officer has been on the force, but when you get an officer fresh out of police academy, right, and they haven't been on the force but 30 seconds, right, they're going to have a different response than a person who's been on the force 10, 15 years. So again, it depends on the person's mindset, right? But when it came down to that situation, I didn't particularly understood why that kid held a firearm, or what was it, a BB gun or something?
It was a BB gun.
Yeah. Okay. Now, most BB guns in America, all right, they have the little orange tip. For
I
that
remember
exact reason.
he literally like he colored over the tip.
See, you're not supposed to, because when you color over that tip, or you remove the tip, right? You know, what's to say that that's not an actual firearm?
Yes, but again, the thing is that if it was a military-aged male, I get that. I completely get that. It may have been a little more justifiable if it was a military-aged male. Samir Rice does not look military-aged. He looked...
Let me clear up something that was said in your chat by a person Muse, the Reaper. Let me just say this about the protest. Number one, most African Americans, we don't condone violence. All right, our movement is simple. We want justice, and we're going to do it the peaceful and the legal way, as it's been done before. Now, the people that are causing problems is predominantly is white people.
Yeah, it's white people.
It's predominantly white people who's coming out here who have no business doing this kind of stuff. They just want a reason to break the law. Okay, so it's not African American. What he's trying to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what he's basically trying to say is that African Americans is just causing this problem. We're not out here doing this rioting.
In the Twin Cities, I believe that most of the people were from
out of
or
state.
in or around. No, I believe the majority were from or around Minneapolis or St. Paul area.
Yeah, and now don't get me wrong. There are African Americans that are out there rioting. I'm not saying that African Americans are not rioting, but a lot of us are not doing this. We don't condone this kind of action.
The thing is that
I've seen cases where African Americans are actually protecting businesses and protecting business owners because of these hoodlums out here, Antifa and the rest of these other hoodlums who never protested a day in their life. They don't know how to protest, and quite frankly, it's ridiculous. To be frank with you.
Okay, Muse. See, the thing is, I really, really, really see. If you want to talk about all this, the thing is that you're looking at it from a completely non-American point of view. You really, really don't understand the complex nature of race relations in the United States.
I don't think anyone is denying. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone is denying that there are white people here in the riot. But to say that it is in most areas or many areas, not predominantly a black riot, to use those words, I think is a bit disingenuous.
Now, I literally just said, right, and I'm going to repeat myself, right? In some cases, riots and violence is being started by white Americans. Now, when you look at Atlanta and you look at what happened in Dallas and other cities in America, there are cases where African Americans are starting violence, and that happened when Eric Garner got killed. It happened when Michael Brown got killed.
And for example, I mean, whenever I was in Dallas, I watched, and if you want to talk about who started a riot, there's actually a couple of different points of view. One of them, and apparently it was on video, was saying that a white person was the one that threw a bottle at the police riot vehicle, and then other ones, like the ones that I saw, at least with my eyes, were African Americans throwing bottles at it. The thing, see, and that's one of the things, is that everyone's just like, oh, well, black people are starting it. Oh, well, white people are starting it. See, that's one of the things that is not allowing the conversation to go forth, is a lot of these people are literally just like, oh, well, I mean, it was a he said, she said, this, that, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter who's starting these riots. What matters is the reasoning that a lot of it is happening, and it's so bad because like there's a lot of different people.
Let me clear this up right quick, because it does matter about who's starting. because when you look at the riots that are happening in America, okay, I am now a supporter of Black Lives Matter, okay, and when you look at these riots that are happening, what's happening is you're having Americans who are blaming the Black Lives Matter movement, which has came out time and time again against violence. You don't advocate for that. Okay. For example, I'm going to a protest downtown in about an hour or so. Right. We don't condone that. So it matters because if we can't get our message across because everyone's saying, oh, well, Black Lives Matter is causing these riots. No, we're not. It's really African Americans that are ignorant, and then you have some white people who are coming in, like Antifa, who really have no business getting involved because what do they stand for? They don't have an organization. They're not organized like Black Lives Matter. They don't have a leader. They don't have a chapter. They don't have what do they stand for except violence?
Antifa could probably be, more or less summed up as mostly a anarchist, socialist group. So their goal is to cause strife and trouble in, some hope of what I guess we could call in their view, a better tomorrow. And of
Better
course,
tomorrow for who?
Well, for the Antifa people. Of course, I don't. I'm sure you know, Backstar, that I don't agree with them.
Yeah, fuck the Antifa.
But if these people, or let me try to frame this in another way. If, in a perfect world, if you were to have could we call it a George Floyd riot, right? Wouldn't one expect everyone to come from similar, or every sort of walk of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And based on what I've seen on the news and on the internet or whatever, is that it's primarily black people, and it's a lot of these Antifa people. So while we will agree that Antifa has a large part of the responsibility here, could not part of the problem, and I'm going to go controversial PG.
Just be careful.
Certain communities in the United States have not, or may have been pandered to. So one.
If anything, that's what a lot of Black Lives Matter. Though whenever I went to the one in Dallas, that's literally what they said. They literally said, "We don't need your pandering. We don't need this. We don't need that. We need action."
And look, when it comes, that action is probably going to turn out to be pandering.
Well, I think here's the thing, because I think what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, is you're trying to say that African Americans have been pandered to.
He literally said that, yeah.
That's what I said, yeah.
I wanted to make sure I understand. Well, let me just say this. I don't see how African Americans have been pandered to. If you look at the history of the United States and what the government has done to African Americans, not just African Americans, but in minorities as a whole.
Speaking of, who raise your hand if you want to backstar PTK debates.
No, I'm not going to debate PTK. But I will say this, because I'm actually getting ready to go exercise my constitutional right and practice social distancing.
Yeah, you ain't going to do that.
Again, I don't see how African Americans have been pandered to when, number one, since the formation of this country, we've had to fight, literally, for equality. I mean, it wasn't up until, 1965 before we, African Americans and minorities as a whole, I don't want to exclude anybody, but it was up to, 1965 until minorities in America were given the right to vote.
Well,
and to this day, when you have a lot of these voter ID laws, I've told PG and I've told PTK, I've told you this before, I support voter ID.
Only in Jim Crow states, because the 14th Amendment, gave black people the right to vote.
No. It was a lot of problems.
There
all
was
over
a
the
lot of
country.
issues with it, but if you want to be technical.
Okay, no, it was all over the country. Okay, yes, we may have went up north to Michigan and all that, New York and all that, but we still face problems up north.
Yeah, the Great
Okay,
Migration.
so the conception that African Americans got better treatment up north than down south is wrong. Now we may have not gotten lynched up north, but we still face discrimination and racism up north.
So per
But
definition, you got treated better in the north than you did in the south.
barely. I mean, if you want
No. Let's get this right. You got lynched in the south. You did not get lynched in the north. That's a
but we still face
that's an improvement.
discrimination.
I would
yeah, we
kind
have-
of
but
disagree
we
because
still
I
There's
think
always been
discrimination.
discrimination.
I think lynchings were still happening in the north. There were a lot of lynchings in the north.
I
They
mean,
were
but
just
I think you
extremely. They were just.
understood the point there. But of course, there was some lynchings in the north, but as
Either
a
way,
whole,
as a whole, African Americans were not treated significantly better up north than down south. Right? And even to this day, if you look at statistics when it comes to poverty and in economic statistics, African American homes bring in less money than white homes. You know, if you look at the housing that happens in America, you know, there's been cases that come from the 80s that have shown discrimination between low-income African Americans and low-income Latinos in America and low-income white Americans. So, and like PG, like I've told PG before, you know, he likes to name off the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Civil Rights Act of 19, all these Civil Rights Act and all the amendments and whatever. But the fact of the matter is that there's still discrimination going on to this day. There's no lynchings going on because that's considered murder now. But something's got to change because we're tired of this shit. We're sick and tired of this crap happening in America. You know, there was no reason.
Whose fault is it that you are poor?
Well,
Just answer that question. Whose fault is it that you are poor?
government?
How is that the government's fault?
Because what the government has done, the United States government's done over the
I don't care about 1800. I don't care about the 1800s.
No, listen, because it all boils down to what's happening today. And if you're not going to let me finish and not let me make my point, I'm not going to make my point. And I'll just let you spout off your stuff. But if you're going to let me finish, I'll tell you. If you look at the things that have happened, all the laws that have passed, right, it has greatly affected African Americans to this day. Okay? You look at the social structure of the African American home. You know why you don't see the father in that home? Because it boils down to what happened to slavery. And what the government's done, the government come in and make up all these, you know, what is that? What was that whole initiative Nixon had? The war on drugs. That was a target to African Americans.
Wasn't that Reagan?
Right? No, it was. I thought it was Nixon.
Reagan started that.
Reagan
started it, and then HW was the one that amplified it.
I couldn't have swore the war on drugs was Nixon.
I'll have to look that up.
You can. Nixon.
Oh, okay.
Started, yeah, it was. I know what I'm talking about.
I guess it was escalated under.
Yeah, it was escalated under Reagan.
Yeah.
But the whole war on drugs. Look, it don't make any sense how the government come in here bringing all these drugs to African American communities, right? And then they start selling them, African American men, right? Weed, cocaine, pills, all that other crap, right?
Are you saying that the government sold drugs to the African Americans?
Yeah.
It's a big conspiracy in the United States.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because it don't.
There's a big conspiracy in the United States. For those who don't know, since I'm streaming, that
Are you streaming?
Yeah, you didn't know that I was.
Would allow me to refrain from cursing.
I mean, I'm slightly, as long as you're not doing it like again, like it's okay.
And like, hold on, Okay, go ahead and make your point,
But
because
yeah.
I want to respond to what Muse has just said.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there's actually conspiracy in the United States that basically that it entails that the government actually introduced cocaine into the inner cities, and then that's why they're so bad, and that's why you see such a drug problem among African Americans.
I wouldn't say it was cocaine.
Whatever
What I
drug it
read-
is.
I think it was heroin.
It was just drugs. It was drugs in general.
Yeah. Well, like what Muse just said. Quote: "Can't be surprised businesses don't want to set up in black areas when every few years stores get looted and burned down." Well, let's say this, and I'll go back to what I just said. The majority of African Americans are not doing this. A lot of the times, it's white people who come into African American areas for the sole purpose of starting chaos and anarchy, like Antifa, which I don't see how you can name an organization. I don't see how you can name Antifa as a terror group, because there's literally no organization, they have no leadership. But that's essentially what's happening. We're not doing this stuff. We're not that stupid. A lot of us are not that dumb to go into our neighborhoods. And
Muse said something, but it got hidden. Oh,
I'm just revealed it.
Do you see what Muse said? One of them.
I'm not saying I'm not saying most blacks do this. I'm saying most people. That makes no sense. That's no different.
That's very different.
He's
That
saying
means
I'm not saying most blacks do this. I'm saying most of the people that do this are black.
Yeah.
See,
He just contradicted himself.
Of the 100 million that are, or
That's why-
some that
Okay,
are
he just
black in.
contradicted himself.
That's why I'm kind of like saying, Muse, I really don't think you understand what's going on, because you're from Britain. You're from Britain. British people.
Contradicted.
That
He
again.
just contradicted himself.
That's
man.
why I'm saying, like, because he's from Britain, he doesn't exactly understand.
Hold on. No, I mean look.
Are you sure you
Mute.
understood what he wrote?
I understood. I'm not saying most blacks do.
I'm not
this.
saying
I'm
most
saying
black do
most
it.
of the people that.
But most of the people who partake in it
Yeah.
are black. That's what
Okay,
he
so
said.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying now.
Okay, look. Either way, I'm not going to agree with that statement. Excuse me, because again, most African Americans. Most of the time, when stuff like this happens in America, when an officer kills an innocent black person for no reason, or just kills a black person for no reason whatsoever, okay, the majority of the African American race does not resort to violence. So again, I'm going to keep saying this.
He's going to be going off of things like Ferguson, Baltimore.
Okay, and see, the problem with that is American media, they don't cover the hundreds of thousands of people across this country protesting peacefully and legally. They'll cover the 1,000 people that went to go raid a Target store or went to go destroy AutoZone and what have you. That's what they'll cover, because they say, well, that's more, I don't know if it's more entertaining for the country to watch. I don't know what it is. I can't answer why the media will do that. But
It sells better.
It sells better. It
exactly.
gets
It sells
views.
better. Okay. So if the
More
media
important.
actually did their job and covered more of these protests, then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
America on Fire sells better than coronavirus, basically.
America peacefully protesting.
Seeing cities on fire
the thing is
apparently
that
just
some
is...
people are rioting. So that
I
would have to be
understand
on the news anyhow.
I know some people are rioting, but that doesn't mean that.
That needs to be on the news, right?
I mean, yes, it needs to be on the news, but what also needs to be on the news is the millions of Americans across this country that are peacefully protesting.
And that is on the news.
Huh?
That is on the news.
What news? Because it seemed like for like the last 5 days, all I've seen is either police coming in here dispersing crowds which did not pose a threat, did not break any laws, or people looting and rioting and doing all kind of crazy crap. So
On at least here in Norway, the Norwegian version of the BBC, it was
Are you sure the
mainly talked
BBC is a
about
good
gay
source?
protest. Of course it is not. That's why I used the Norwegian version of the BBC, which is worse.
I mean, I read the New York Times, which I think is better than the BBC. Like I told PG before about the New York Times. If the New York Times gets something wrong, which they rarely
You should do long distance PG.
it's rare that the New York Times or the Washington Post gets anything wrong. Like I told PG, because he asked me, how can you trust the New York Times? If they get something wrong, they'll come back and say they got it wrong. And they'll tell you, this is where we got it wrong, this is the actual truth. But I look on the New York Times and all I see is Atlanta burning, the CNN Center burning, the Target in Minneapolis burning. So I mean, it's the media is just covering this crap, which is really annoying. I wish they would cover the protest. That's what I think they should cover.
You know, if the local grocery store near me was burning, I would very much prefer to know that instead of there are millions of people protesting all over the country.
Michael, what are you talking about? What is the New York Times lied about? Isn't Michael Fox one of those, isn't he a Trump supporter?
He's, from what I can tell, he's actually very, very conservative.
Of course, he's a Trump supporter. Because most Trump supporters will say the New York Times lies all the time.
Is Trump very conservative though?
Trump is an idiot.
I wouldn't
I
say
mean-
he's conservative, honestly.
What does Trump want to preserve? You know, it's there are some holy cows he can't.
Trump
Pick
was
on,
a
but-
Democrat.
Come on.
Muse,
That's
I
not
agree.
very nice, Muse.
Yeah, I know. Muse, can you not? I'm just saying, just like as long as you guys are civil, I'm gonna allow the conversation to happen. But if it's not gonna be civil, I'm not gonna allow it.
I mean, Muse, I wouldn't say he's a quote Trump tard, but I would say he's definitely a interesting Trump supporter. He's like Red Eagle.
Ah,
Well, the Greek name I can't pronounce there, that's not completely true. If you look at Nelson Mandela or Robert Mugabe, they also got remembered.
Robert Mugabe. That man is a hell of a leader.
Who?
Robert Mugabe. He was the president or prime minister of what was it, Zimbabwe?
Uganda?
Yeah, Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
Oh,
You know, say
Did
what
he
you
die?
want about him, but he
He died recently.
He made everyone in his country not only a millionaire, not only a billionaire, but he made them a trillionaire.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because the currency was wasn't even worth the paper it was. Like I read this, I watched this video, and but the money would be printed in the capital, right? By the time it got to the bank, it would be worthless.
It wouldn't be worthless. It would just be.
high quality shitting paper.
It wouldn't be worthless. It would just be trillions of dollars.
And it would be worthless. They have to go print another bill. Yeah, you know, Five Guys, you pissing me the fuck. Oh, see, let me start cussing.
Just watch what you say. What
I'm
I need to
gonna say
do,
that-
see, I want to have a debate with Michael.
Why?
I'd watch that.
I want to do that. Come on, Michael. Come on, Michael. Let's do it.
Michael is a Trump supporter.
I'm a Trump supporter too, but I disagree with a bunch of crap he says.
He's one of those Trump supporters that think they're right, and when you tell him he's wrong, he calls you one of those Trump nicknames.
Well, like
He's like Red Eagle. He's just like Red Eagle. You can tell. You can say Red Eagle. The sky is, and the birds are chirping. All right.
I'm a
And the
right-wing
grass is
populist,
green.
not even close to the Trump supporter. I'm more Rand Paul.
No, listen, Red Eagle. Let's get in PG. You can
Stop
tell
calling me
Michael.
Red Eagle.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You can tell Michael the sky is blue. All right. You can tell the birds are chirping. You can tell him the grass is green, and he'll say no. The grass is red. The birds are meowing, and the sky is purple. You can't. I mean, that's the kind of idiotic crap that comes from a lot from some of these Trumps. That's why I don't like to debate Trump supporters, because they think they're right when in fact most of the time they're wrong. Excuse me. Hope that didn't get
Yet
on live.
you can't back any of that up.
Back what up?
That the Trump supporters mostly are wrong.
I've debated them. I've debated like ever since Trump was elected.
You know,
I've
you
debated
took the
hundreds of Trump
conspiracy.
supporters.
You took the conspiracy theory of the government smuggling in and addicting the local population.
Okay,
to
and I believe in the conspiracy theory that the government did 9/11.
There was actually
theory that the CIA killed John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
Oof.
If
Hey,
we all get to
listen.
decide what reality is.
Muse Muse said denying the sky is blue like certain community denying crime statistics.
Who's denying crime statistics?
You.
Of course, all of us are completely innocent.
When have I denied a crime statistics?
About the conversation. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just trying to say what's going on in the chat. Also, someone else said, I heard the plan for the next $3 trillion stimulus package is to mint 3 titanium coins that would be artificially valued at $1 trillion each.
Yeah. All I got to say is I want a stimulus check. I want my unemployment.
Yeah, I
Trump.
actually heard about that titanium thing. So what do you guys actually think about that? Do you think it's a good idea, a bad idea?
I think it's stupid. How the hell are you gonna artificially make a titanium worth $1 trillion? That don't even make sense.
So what I need to do, I need to host a debate on this freaking channel.
A debate with who?
I don't know, someone.
You tell Michael I want to debate him on healthcare.
Hey Michael, you want to debate Backstar on healthcare?
Oh, I forgot. He don't know too much about healthcare.
There we go.
If I've already convinced you, the private system probably could be better.
You said what?
Say what?
That's long in the past, Backstar.
What happened?
About healthcare. He's saying healthcare is long in the past.
Basically, if you make more than X amount, private healthcare is statistically cheaper.
Debate on third positionism.
Look, I'm a
Did
liberal.
we have this debate back in 1940?
I'm a liberal. And I'm a Democrat all the way. I'm a Democrat all the way. All the way.
Of course you are.
Excuse me.
Michael says
Damn.
Michael says that Rand Paul is better than Trump.
Rand Paul's a fucking idiot.
Stop belching on my stream.
Alright. Rand Paul is a fool. Alright. What has Rand Paul done for the conservative movement? Besides get up here and shake his ass.
Why are you saying conservative movement?
Ain't he a conservative?
He's
He's
like a
libertarian.
he's like a hardline libertarian. He's not even, he's in the freedom. He's in the Freedom Caucus.
The Freedom Caucus. Ain't that quote unquote the Tea Party?
In the Senate, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the Tea Party, fuck them. They gonna get up here and make a whole bunch of lies about Obamacare. Talking about we don't want to pay for nobody health care. Shit. You've been doing it every time you pay tax, folks. You pay for somebody else's health care.
But Rand Paul is against that, by the way. Just to clarify.
Okay. Against what?
Against public investment in healthcare.
So then we need to repeal Medicaid and Medicare and whatever else public health care plan we have. The VA. We need to pay. As a matter of fact, let's take away his health care. Because who paid for his health care? My tax dollars.
His salary, which he has legally earned.
Someone with a really, really weird name says that Criminal Minds starts in a few minutes.
Okay, and go watch that show.
And Muse also said Tea Party is as boomer as it gets.
I agree. But see, here's the thing about single payer, because he just said, it's amazing you still don't have single. I don't particularly like single payer because, well, most of the single payer proposals that,
You said you did like single health care.
I've never supported single payer. I've never supported Medicare for all.
Yeah, you have.
No, I have not.
Damn it!
I've never supported. What?
I crashed into a car who stopped in the middle of the roadway.
I have never supported Medicare for.
EG, stop driving like a jackass.
I don't know where you got that from, but I've told you my position. You agree with my position. In fact, I'm the reason why you have that position on healthcare. With the whole public option. Yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Look, if when Bernie Sanders get up and Warren and whoever else said Medicare for all, because we know Kamala didn't say that. I mean, they want to take away private health insurance.
Oh yeah, remember whenever I said that Kamala Harris is going to be number 2?
In what?
In the primaries.
And what did I say?
You said nope.
And what happened?
Wouldn't it make a lot more sense for her to be in there now?
Being where?
Being on the top of the ballot.
No. Because she's fake.
Because everyone is like, oh well, now Biden has to get a black woman as his VP. But why does that have to stop?
He gonna pick Kamala Harris?
Kamala is definitely an option, especially since she has.
Kamala Harris is the fakest black woman I have ever seen in my life.
Isn't she an islander?
No, she's Californian.
Her race. She's from. She's not black. She's Pacific Islander.
No, that's Tulsi Gabbard. You're thinking of Tulsi Gabbard.
Ah, well, there we go.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is a representative from Hawaii.
When she was Attorney General over there was it California, and she locked up a whole bunch of black people. Then she want to get up here act like she did something for the black community. Man, she got exposed by Tulsi and homeboy from San Francisco. What's his name? Willie Brown.
I don't.
Oh,
Jerry Brown?
The former. No, fool. The homeboy who was the mayor of San Francisco.
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna find his name right now. But yeah, she got it when she went up against in the second Democratic debate. You know what I told you? You remember what I told you?
She gonna get exposed?
I told you from the get go. She's gonna get exposed like hell.
Just look at and the reason, so I can explain the reason why I thought she was going to be a strong contender is literally because she was a black woman running for president. So
you thought she was going to be a contender because she went up against Biden and exposed the hell out of him.
Here's something for you, Backstar. The United States should financially support single-payer healthcare if all of our healthcare programs like Medicaid, Medicare, and the VA were replaced by it. God damn it. Were replaced by it, and if the name of the program was appealing.
Well, the name of the program ain't got to be appealing. That's just That's just for marketing. But eventually, yeah, if we went to a single-payer system, we'll have to get rid of Medicare. We have to get rid of Medicaid. I mean, there won't be a need for those programs because
it'll all be under one umbrella.
Yeah, And
See,
and if you look at like France, and the reason why I use France because France has one of the best single payer healthcare systems in the world, if not in the Western world.
who says that?
Huh?
Said who says that?
But see, listen, right? When it comes to a single payer healthcare system, there won't be a need for Medicare or Medicaid or VA or any other public health insurance plan. Now, I also agree that you need to keep private health insurance because I don't believe in taking that right away. But just make private health insurance companies not for profit. Like I think they do that in Germany, if not France. I know they do that in Canada. Because in Canada, you have the option to get private health insurance. In the UK, you have the option to get private health insurance. In France, you have the option to get private health insurance. So it wouldn't make sense if we're trying to model our healthcare system off everybody else in the Western first world countries to get rid of private health insurance. That's pointless. You know what I'm saying? So
If I recall
same person. Just so I can get this in. The same person that started this discussion, by the way, he says the name of the program actually does affect the appeal of it. There is a study done on how excited people felt about single payer option based on a name if it were named Medicare for All versus Universal Health Care.
okay, let me be straight up. Okay, most Americans won't care about the name of the program. They're not looking at the name of the program. That's not the most important thing. They're looking at what is covered. Okay, is dental covered? Is vision covered? What's covered under medical?
I
go
would
to any doctor I want to?
slightly disagree with that because a lot of people just look at it as a broad term because they look at it and they're like, okay, like I have healthcare. But, people, yeah, there's going to be probably a plethora of people that are going to look at it and they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take that because it has this benefit. But
Exactly.
a lot of people aren't really going to look into into that, like, especially. I don't think a lot of people are going to be that specific on it.
Well, the specific determines how much healthcare you use. Like, for example, me, I don't particularly look into specifics of what doctor I have to go to because I don't particularly use that much healthcare. But when you got Americans that out here use care of that mess. But see, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll look at what's covered, all right, and see, okay, for example, Medicare for all. I've seen some plans that, is going to cover dental and vision and children health insurance and yada, yada. That's what they're going to look at. Now, if they got a child, right, they're going to, most responsible parents, right, they're going to look at what doctor or what pediatrician is covered. If you have a pre-existing condition, they're going to look at what's covered. All right, if you don't, then you just, ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So the name of the program, I don't understand why he's saying the name of the program matters. Right?
I think it does, honestly.
Really don't. Okay.
Because it's easier to get excited for something with a good name.
Yeah, like
okay.
in my opinion,
447 on the regulation of healthcare, plumbing, and whatever, right?
Well, I mean,
Medicaid for all is more excitable.
What I mean, look.
Branding, I really do agree with it because, like, me personally, if it has a really, really good name, like, I'm gonna get more excited for it.
Right.
Can I just bring this back to if you were going to have a public and a private option, right? If you're going to model it on the German system,
yeah.
What's in Germany is that often it's very hard for people who don't have private insurance to get a doctor's appointment later in the year, because the way the state system works is because it's such large consumer, it basically bullies the doctors. So if you're a doctor in Germany, you have to take such or such amount of public patients.
Right.
And any more than those, you get paid a set sum, and that
Well,
caps at whatever limit, right?
yeah.
And then, after you've taken the amount of patients you have to take, there is no incentive to take any more patients.
Right.
But if you were going to start something like the NHS, right? That means you're going to have to raise taxes, or some sort of raising taxes.
I'm just go ahead and be frank with you. All right. Everybody's gonna have to pay a little bit more in taxes.
Okay, but
right.
let me finish this point.
That's just that.
Sorry, let me finish this point.
Okay, finish.
Because if you have to raise taxes, that means more middle class people, more medium class people can't afford their private insurance, meaning they have to rely on the public service. Because if you're making $30,000 a year, those $30,000 have to stretch for a lot, and that small increase in taxes, which is going to fall down onto the poorer or the middle class.
Right.
So you're going to eradicate, or you're going to diminish private insurance. And if you diminish private insurance, there's going to be more stress on the public service, meaning you have to raise taxes more, and then diminish private insurance further, meaning more people have to go on the public side again. So you kind of fuck yourself.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? I wouldn't support, raising taxes on a person making $30,000 a year. All right, but like I told like I told this person before, right? And I had this debate on healthcare, right? And the plan I said would basically cost $700 billion, right? And we can pay for that. I'm actually about to go, but we would pay for that. We could pay for that by having cuts with defense and also increasing taxes on the most wealthy. Now, I have to go because I'm going to this protest. So I will see y'all and talk to y'all later. I'm out.
All right, see ya.
Cheers. But just to raise a point there, even if he's gone. If the rich don't pay taxes because they have a choice. If you raise taxes on the rich, they move out of the country, and then you don't have any tax revenue from them.
Yeah, see, that's one thing.
If you manage to tax them, suddenly they're going to pass on that cost to other people. By raising prices of whatever, so getting the rich to pay taxes is near on impossible.
Yeah, and see, that's why, like, I think it's a really, really bad idea if we were to just, depend on the rich people. That's particularly why I kind of disagree with that concept. Because they're like, oh yeah, well, I mean, we just need to raise taxes on the rich. Well, the rich have the ability to just move. They can just say, hey, I'm living in this one, I just have a property over here, something like that. Then you can tax their property value or something like that. But at the same time, I mean, you're doing it. It's just not smart, I guess.
If you want to, I'm just seeing what Muse is writing here. The pandering to the rich to keep them in the country will have to end at some point. Well, you can have a country without rich people. However, that doesn't tend to be a very good idea because the rich people tend to be really efficient. They tend to be really good at making shit people want. And the tax solution is good example of why. Well, if you were to integrate all of the EU into one tax system, I'll wager you it takes about 1 month until the accountants have figured out how they can start not paying tax again.
Yeah.
And or say you have to pay a little bit of tax because
we need an international body that enforces payment of taxes. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, but no.
this is one of the simplest things, say that you have a company which makes whatever in, say, Britain.
Mm-hmm.
You have to import shit to make that stuff, right? Because Britain doesn't produce everything. So you hire, let's say, a service from the Cayman Islands, and you have a company in the Cayman Islands. And basically what you do is you raise the price of the service you buy from the Cayman Islands, which you have chosen to buy from the Cayman Islands because you own the company in the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
So that all the profit is actually generated in the Cayman Islands. Meaning, again, that that's where you would have to pay any tax, because that's where the profit is made.
Yeah.
The company in the UK is barely breaking even. So you can't close this loophole, or, if that's even the appropriate term for it, without stopping all imports and all international trade. I mean, we've tried to end capitalism before, Muse, and it hasn't worked till now. None of the times we've tried to do it.
And if anyone, by the way, if anyone wants to jump in on this conversation, again, you can actually join it. I'm on Discord right now, so if you want to be a part of this conversation, I am gladly allowing you to do so.
PG does not bite.
Said what?
PG does not bite.
Bite what?
Bite in general.
Yeah,
you
I don't.
Bite people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying good on you for not biting.
Hell yeah. I would agree the cultural effects of global capitalism outweigh the economic benefits of it at this point. See, I don't know. It's such a complicated situation.
Not all capitalism is created equal, or so I would propose. But I don't suppose this is really an argument we're going to make much ground on Muse.
Yeah, like... God.
If you're going to have any trade with a foreign nation, you're going to expose yourself of a tax strain.
Capitalism inevitably leads to the neoliberal system we have now. Every time I take a political test, I always am told that I'm freaking neoliberal. Speaking of, how in the world should I actually do a political test?
8 values?
Yeah, there's 8 values. I always get the same thing on 8 values, though. And if I do not win this election, then I'll go ahead.
I think there's a 9 values as well.
There's a what?
A 9 values.
There is a 9 values. That one has a ton more questions, though. I mean, I got the time to do that.
Do it.
Alright, I'll go ahead and probably end this live stream, and then I'll do a second one separately, just so the gameplay is in one and then the political compass is in the other. Let me go ahead and win this election real quick, and then I'll do that. Okay, let's do one more poll, voter intention. For those who are watching right now, I'm actually running for the Alaska at-large district. Looks like we're gonna win. Okay, we slightly won, almost by 10,000 votes, but we actually are now going to be representing Alaska at large. So then, policy, finance. No one actually resigned, by the way. I actually just ran against them, and and primaried the incumbent, I believe. And
I think they're talking about real life.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Are you talking about real life, or are you talking about what I'm doing right now? Mark Esper's advisor resigned, and that's actually, for those who are watching right now, what is your actual opinion on President Trump actually enacting the Insurrection Act? Do you believe that it's a good idea, or do you not believe it's a good idea?
Writing sucks.
Not tough enough. Are you actually familiar with what the Insurrection Act is? He didn't clamp down early enough. Yeah, he. I don't really know, because there's the purpose, by the way, of the Insurrection Act is actually to prevent the president from acting too early and allow the states to do it by themselves without federal intervention. So that's one reason why I kind of disagree with that concept, I guess. Because, like, he could have acted early enough, but he wouldn't have been able to. Extreme actions call for extreme reactions tenfold, in my view. Yeah, but see, the thing is that if Michael Flynn did to try and avoid prosecution. See, the thing is that we have laws here in the United States that actually literally prevent the president from doing that. And again, the Insurrection Act and the Posse Comitatus Act are the ones that actually prevent the federal government from going too far. Hell yeah, we won. Then president, wow, 249 seats to 186. Republicans gain 5 seats, and presidential wise, Republicans win. And state governor, other elections, 14. Republicans gain 5 in the House. Alright, so let's go to the next year. I'm going to go ahead and save this game, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream, and then do a separate one. Alright. So for those of you guys watching right now, if you want to continue this conversation, go ahead and join in on the Discord right now. And if you are actually interested in continuing this, I am actually going to Senator of Alaska. I actually forgot the name of her, but it is a her. But okay, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to end this live stream, and I'm going to start another live stream. In the next live stream, I'm actually going to do a political compass kind of thing, since every other political live streamer has actually been doing that. So if you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes.